Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of DV Live. Again, sorry for my voice. Baseball mom opening day. So today I have Adrian Ochoa back on the show. Welcome.
Hello.
And before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button to join the conversation, ask questions, give me some topic ideas, anything you want, but just make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. So before we begin, for anyone watching who might not know you, can you tell us who you are, what you do at the credit union, and a fun fact about yourself?
I'm a loan officer. I've been at the credit union for a little over 8 years.
Really?
Yeah, it's been, it's going to be 9 years on, I think August or something like that. So,
Congratulations. That's wild.
It definitely went by fast.
I feel like 2 years has gone by fast.
Yeah.
So,
Well, especially the last 2 years.
I was going to say everything.
Some of it drags, but at the same time, you then wake up and you're like, where'd those 2 years go?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
And a fun fact about yourself.
Fun fact. Well, just like last time, I do enjoy Star Wars quite a bit. I'm looking forward to the next thing that comes out on that. And
a little May the 4th trivia, huh?
Yeah. I heard we might be doing something with the community on that aspect. So
we definitely have some things in the works, so it won't just be you and Eric against each other and me sitting here awkwardly.
Right.
So, but I guess next episode or that episode, I won't even get to be the host.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I mean,
hopefully I'm not the weakest link on your guys' team though either. Otherwise, we're going to need some like Avengers or Marvel questions all up in there.
No, I'm sure you and me will probably be struggling for that.
Yeah.
For that honor there.
I'll just be sitting in the back eating popcorn. So today we're going to talk about a product that I didn't know we offered or had for members, but it's kind of, I guess, resurfacing.
Yeah, it's been here for most of my seniority here. But most of our members, let alone staff, didn't know it even existed. So we obviously done a poor job on putting that out there.
So I guess we'll just dive right on in and talk about GreenPath Financial Wellness, correct?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. It's a great organization, it really is.
So one thing that brought this up for the topic today was we did just have a meeting on it, and it's super beneficial, like a lot of different things. I know today we're going to talk about the financial wellness program and the debt management program because it is Credit Awareness Month. So helping people there. And I'll be honest, before this month, I had no idea how my credit score got factored. So here we are. Can you tell us in general what GreenPath is?
Yes, GreenPath is a nonprofit organization that there's kind of two aspects of it. The big one is financial education.
Yep.
Along with credit monitoring as well, credit assistance on that aspect. Like you said, a lot of people don't know exactly. They hear credit, they hear it all with Credit Karma and Experian Boost in it, but they don't fully understand how credit calculates itself.
Well, and sometimes it's scary. Like I've made some hiccups along my way. And so rebuilding credit, it's like, I'm just going to pack that in the corner and just leave it there for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but you can't do that.
No, you can't. You can't because if you're not working on it, it's only going to get worse. Is the thing. It's very easy to plummet, and it's very hard to get it back up.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Just like health, it's very easy for us to.
Oh my gosh! Right.
It's just that's what I tell a lot of our members. Your credit is kind of like your health. It's a lot easier to run a marathon when you don't have all this excess baggage around. It's a lot easier for your credit to go up if it doesn't have this excess baggage weighing you down.
That's actually really true. And I've noticed, what is that saying? You don't eat the elephant in one bite or something. Like
I never heard of that one.
Something like that. Like you only eat the elephant in one bite at a time, and it's similar with credit. And I'm like, oh, I see the elephant and I just run away. Like,
yeah, I don't know how big of a fork you're going to need for that, but okay.
So is GreenPath a product of premium checking? Is it free to members? What is it for our members here?
It's free to all of our members. So GreenPath, with them being nonprofit, the way they get paid and make money is actually through agreements through other institutions like Desert Valleys that
Okay.
are trying to focus on educating our community with financial education.
Right.
So we're basically already forking the bill for all of our members.
Oh, so everyone out there, go fix your credit. Go check it out.
It really is that easy, yeah. As far as that aspect of it, the actual work is the hard work.
Yes.
But as far as cost to your pocket, there is minimum to none because Desert Rise has already made that investment for our members. And that's why it's very almost heartbreaking that it's not getting taken advantage of as much as we really hope it would.
Yeah, especially after I heard about it, I was like, just going on the website and seeing the resources available there. Mm-hmm. It's a lot, but it's also very strategic for what you want to do and where you want to go.
Yeah. It can be tailored to most people's goals of what they're looking to be, whether they're beginners on saving and credit or more advanced, looking for a bigger next level purchase of their home or retirement kind of a thing.
And it's not just a website. They also have representatives.
Yeah, well, that's the key of it. It's not just a website where you're doing your own, trying to figure it out kind of a thing. Their biggest thing is actually not face-to-face because it is over the phone via email, but it is your individual guidance counselor, for lack of a better term there, where they literally hold your hand through the process.
I think that's something they do, like a personalized plan, right? Like
so
one-on-one.
Yeah, that's after you initiate the contact, of course, to enter your information to the website or just give them a call. Either way it can be done. They do like a little interview process, kind of like we're doing a little bit here, very relaxed, asking you what your situation is.
Yeah.
And then literally once they get the situation, then they try and dig deeper at your comfort level of, okay, now let's talk about your income. What's your goals? What are you trying to do?
Right.
And why are you trying to go about that way to do it? Which is the important thing because a lot of us we know what we want to do, but we don't know how to get there or why we're doing it.
You see the bills and you're like, what am I going to do? How do I pay all of these all at once?
Right. And that's what they'll help you out with. It starts from very basic, literally someone wanting to just cover their bills without having to go in the red on a checking account and whatnot, to more advanced as far as me working with our members, gearing towards GreenPath on maybe you don't want this now, but they'll teach you the habits you'll need to get it in the future.
Well, I think that's nice to build that habit too, because on my last episode, we talked about the payday loans.
Okay.
And how detrimental that can be to people if they're relying on, I just got paid this week, I have to do a payday loan next week, and then the cycle just begins.
Yeah.
So having that plan or having someone to talk to that's honestly, they're very empathetic. They are so kind with talking about credit and such a sensitive subject for some people that I now, after learning about it, it's like, why don't we just get this out there and tell people to learn about it more?
Right. And it's one thing where some of my members, I recently did have one that I've been trying to get to go through GreenPath because some members are ashamed of or embarrassed, I guess is a better word to describe what they're going. And I told them they've heard everything, like that old Allstate or State Farm commercial. We've seen it all.
Yeah.
They're not there to judge. Most of it can even be done anonymously. So you don't have to give them your name if you don't want to, if you're not at that level yet.
Well, and I think it's nice that you can bridge that gap for them too, to build that trusting relationship.
Yeah. I through the years, I've tried to put a face with it because it is hard to trust someone that you're calling where you don't know where in the nation they might be.
Especially with all the scams.
Right. So when I put the face to it, I kind of have, for the members who are comfortable with me, built that relationship where they come ask me, hey, they've told me to do this 3 months ago. Does this sound about right? And I'm like, yeah, trust me, they know what they're doing. They have a very high success rate.
Well, and it sounds like you've worked with it enough or talked with them to where you can be like, something does sound a little weird here, maybe. And if you find out later on down the line they went to the wrong website or something.
No, it's mostly they usually go to the right website because I give them a little card or the panels or something like that. So they know exactly where to go. It's usually a misunderstanding. Oh. That's usually where the fear comes from, where they're told something by a professional. And they might also be kind of like a someone asking you about credit just personally. you explain it to them, and they're too ashamed or embarrassed again to tell you that they didn't get it. Can you explain it a different way?
Gotcha. Because sometimes you don't want to be like, I didn't get that. Is there a different way you can show me?
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen a lot because like we said, GreenPath is very empathetic. They do fantastic work on communicating to our members. Mm-hmm. But there are a few members who have known me for even before I worked at Desert Valleys, 10, 15 years, some of them.
Oh, wow.
And I know exactly what they want to hear and how they want to hear it. So then they tell me what GreenPath has taught them, and they have questions about it. And I'm like, well, this is what it means in your...
So I'm going to skip around real quick on the questions that I had. Yeah. Can we talk about maybe some member experiences or satisfaction with using GreenPath?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of them coming back because you can just tell on their credits fixed, and I happen to mention it. Hey, you were down here. Now look at where you're at over the years. And this is the benefit of your work.
And I like that you're saying years because it's not a quick fix solution.
For most, it's not.
Okay.
For most, it's not. Depending, again, like the whole marathon thing, I'm not prepared to go run one right now. So
what are you talking about? We could just go out there and jog. It's fine.
Yeah, not with my
in our dinosaur costumes.
yeah, right. I don't think I'd make it to the end of the parking lot.
Right.
But it's one of those things that depending how much baggage you have, it can take years. It can only take 1 month to screw it up, but it does take years to build back up depending on how much you got. But it is well worth it. What I told people, some of them, when they don't take care of the baggage, they say, well, I don't have the money to pay them. I don't have the money to fix that.
Yep.
But the biggest thing they need to realize is they are paying that money and much more. Just not to them. They're paying it to their future debts.
Right.
Because higher interest rates, that they've accrued higher fees, that they go by going negative on the checking accounts and stuff like that. That all adds up behind the scenes.
And it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And
if you're ignoring it.
Right. And it's a multiplier where that just gets so much more massive than if you would have taken care of your credit and your budgeting habits to begin with. It's a lot more costly.
So with GreenPath, can you just call them and ask like, hey, I want to work on just my budget or just credit and do that versus doing everything all at once? It can be little
absolutely.
chunks.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like we said, they do the interview process of what is the reason for your call? What do you want out of this?
So it can be small steps.
Absolutely. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. You're not going to be coming from anyone to all of a sudden becoming Warren Buffett overnight kind of a thing with one conversation, right? I wouldn't be here if that was the case right there.
I don't think you'd have a job.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that it's a super lax environment. That's the best way I can put it, because that's what it needs to be when you're talking about people's finances. Yes. And credit, it's almost like one of those hot buttons, but even more personal. You got religion, politics, all that kind of stuff. But this one's literally personal to the individual. This is stuff I need, stuff I've done.
And sometimes it's hard to own up being like, oh, yeah, I maxed out that credit card.
Right.
And then haven't paid it for 10 years.
Right. And they're very realistic as far as what expectations you should expect out of it. They're not going to give you that magic word that's going to switch it in your head, and all of a sudden you are going to be the world's space saver kind of a thing. Or
all of a sudden it makes sense. The light bulb.
Right. It takes time. That'd be wonderful for those whose brains work that way and they can switch from one to another. Right. That's not most of us, though.
No, I think it took at least a good 6 months for me to learn actual savings habits. Like 10% as soon as I get paid goes directly into savings.
Right.
Which some people, it's like, I could never do that. 10% is a lot. And after a while it is, but then once you start thinking about it and it's not there, it's still a habit that took years to acquire.
Right. Right. And that is the beginning steps, your savings kind of thing. I've always told people, at least my mentality has always been to tell people that savings is great. Working towards savings is fantastic. However, in my opinion, that should be the beginning steps, beginning habits. The bigger issue, just like, again, just back to health, because it's something we can all relate to.
Yeah.
Is think of it as going through fad diets, fad exercises.
Oh, yeah.
Is your savings, right?
Drink this tea and you lose 10 pounds.
Right. So your savings is great with small goals. They say everyone save at least $500 for emergencies.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your fad diet right there, kind of thing. Your immediate thing, yes.
Yeah.
Save to buy a car, save for this, save for that. But in the background, you'll start to, instead of thinking I need to save for this, the hope for me is that you will start thinking of, I don't have a savings problem, I have a spending problem.
Oh, okay.
So if you try and switch it like that over time, by saving for this, you'll start seeing, okay, I'm saving for this by not spending this. Eventually, you won't spend for that item that you didn't need. And
like that McDonald's?
Right. And that savings happens organically at that point. You're no longer saving for emergency. You're no longer saving for a car because the money that you haven't spent by building better habits has automatically built up your savings.
You realize you're not living paycheck to paycheck and
Right.
you see it starting to build more.
Right. So in my opinion, the industry has geared towards people on saving, because that's the easiest way to understand it. It gives them an immediate goal, a fat diet, lose the 10 pounds over a week kind of a thing.
Yep.
Versus addressing a better, healthier lifestyle longer term. That's the spending aspect in at least my viewpoint of how I would like people to start thinking, and how GreenPath tries to slowly curve you towards that direction without you even knowing it. That's the beautiful part.
I think that's the nice part is they aren't just making you dive headfirst into it. Yeah. It's learning who you are and speaking your language to get you there.
Right. Yeah.
So one thing I would like to talk about is their debt management program. Now, that's not a settlement loan, consolidation loan or anything though, right?
No. So their debt management is exactly how you said it. The words literally mean they take your debts and they assist you in managing them. I'm trying to control it without it controlling you and driving you crazy every month.
And they can contact the creditors on your behalf to work out payment or interest?
They can.
Right? Okay.
They can. Now, please keep in mind that we did say that it was all completely free through Desert Valleys. Yes. The interview, the communication.
This is where it's something that's now an added benefit.
Right.
An ancillary cost, I guess.
Right. Because now you're actually contracting them to work on your behalf.
Yeah. Thank you for the disclaimer and the separation there.
Right. So they're not just helping you. They're literally doing work on your behalf. It's the best way I can describe that. So
Desert Valleys, I guess, offers this product and opens the door. It's up to you to step through and then choose what you want to proceed with.
Right. And it doesn't, like you said before, it doesn't have to be all or nothing kind of a thing. You can't go into it and then if you happen to fail this one time, quit it. No, it's meant there to keep assisting you as you go, as you grow. Okay. That's nice, though. I mean, sometimes when you go into something like that and feel, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing it right, you hit that wall, you hit an unexpected emergency or something. Yeah. And, you fall down, you slide back. It's nice to have someone there to help that you've kind of built that relationship with. And even coming in and talking to you like, hey, I worked with GreenPath. I got sick and I couldn't pay bills. Can you help me? Do you think they'll still help me get back on the path? And it's nice to have that answer be yes. Right. Yeah. And especially if you've already kind of gone through it and hopefully seen at least a little bit of success. Yeah. Yeah, it does make that continuing usage a lot easier. So with their products, does GreenPath, I guess, have a timeline that you've typically noticed that members work with them? 3 years, 3 to 5 years, or you just notice that their credit score starts working its way up? Well, it depends on what aspects of GreenPath they use. Okay. Because if they go into the debt, what's the name again? The debt management? The debt management program. Because I have to look at my notes here. They have the financial counseling, debt management program, and they also offer
housing counseling.
Right. And the only one, again, that's cost to our members is the debt management program.
If you contract with them.
Right. All the counseling, all that education, that's all paid for by the credit union already, so you don't have to worry about that. So the debt management is the one that can take years.
Okay.
Because you, like you said, the best word for it is contracted. You contracted them to help you with this amount of debt over this amount of time. So depending on how much that debt is, that could be a 1-year plan, 3-year plan, 5-year plan, whatever they have to put you in that is affordable to you at the same time reaches your goal of getting rid of it. And the other ones, the other programs, they can be sporadic. You can contact them initially to help you save for that $500 emergency fund, and then that'd be it. And a year later, you're like, okay, I need more help because now I'm at this step of my life where I need more counseling on this.
Well, it's nice that they offer the housing counseling because it is that next step. Like, you're getting your credit in order. Maybe you get that car. Or I guess start with credit card, and then you get the car a couple years down the line, and then there is the house.
Right.
Like, buying a house is a bit daunting.
It can be. A lot of people are intimidated by it. And the thing is that they get bombarded with information nowadays as far as the whole Rocket Mortgage flyers and advertising and commercials from everywhere, all these big box marketers.
Or emails that just come in and say,
they just come in.
Buy a mortgage with us now. We saw that you were interested. And it's like, who are you and how'd you get my information?
Right. And they make it seem like it's as easy as click here and you get your keys tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's the problem that the market is saturated with all this bits of information. I'm not going to call them wrong, even though they probably would be. But
it's fine.
It's incomplete. A lot of it is incomplete. That's the problem. It's the whole YouTube craze of I can learn a little bit and now I know it all.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
That's exactly it. What was I watching? There's a YouTube channel called Dad, How Do I think it is. And it's this dad who he lost his father. So now he teaches people how to do things on YouTube, simple things. Like putting the chain back on the toilet when it's running constantly.
Okay.
But it goes back to that. I want a quick fix now. I can go here and watch a 3-minute video and now I'm an expert.
Right.
So.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with these little bits of education here or there, but treat them as such. Yeah. It's a little bit of education. Don't think you know it all after the end of it.
Well, and I think it's kind of impersonal, going through the mortgage, home buying process here and being able to ask questions, and it's very exposed. When you're buying things and here's all my credit and here's this and that.
You feel vulnerable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was also nice to have a person explain it to me. Okay, here's what you work on. These are the documents. This is why. And not go through somewhere that's just click here, put your information in, and oh, no, it didn't work.
Right, especially because a lot of those, try and ask them questions. They don't know why they do because they're so big. They have individuals, if you do end up talking to someone, which will be hard enough.
I was going to say how.
Yeah, but even if you hit that golden ticket and you do talk to someone, they don't even know why they do what they do. It's the problem. They just know they have to get you to fill out that field, that document. They don't know what that document means, but they know they need it.
Yep.
And so with GreenPath, they do explain everything in very basic terms, something we can understand. And I don't want to say basic as far as a form of insulting, but a lot of us aren't professionals in that kind of thing. So we don't need the big 10-letter words. We need to know something we can understand.
And I think that's what they did, especially because they offer, if I remember right, they offer videos as well.
Yeah.
Articles to read, different things that you can watch. So it seems like they're giving you the information however you are receptive to it.
Right. Yeah, that's a beautiful way of putting it right there. Because some people are more receptive because of embarrassment or something like that. Where they don't want to talk to someone for a year. But they might want to get the software because they do offer software of budgeting kind of a thing.
Oh, okay.
They might want to watch a couple of videos first so they at least feel some kind of educated before they have the conversation. So
or at least maybe that they showed hey, I'm doing the legwork for this. I'm serious. How do we start this process?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and with that whole, the great thing about GreenPath is we've said that you don't have to climb all into it. But before you know it, you start seeing the small changes and you've made better. I don't want to say the right, because the right depends on every person as far as their habits, right? No right habits. It's better habits.
Better habits.
Better habits. You've built these up enough that before you know it, when the opportunity comes for you to take that next step, you are already prepared for it. Mm-hmm. I've had some members who have worked with me and GreenPath together over the years, had multiple collections, can't get a car loan through anybody. We've worked with them so much that they just bought their house in January.
Oh, wow.
And this has been years. I'm talking about a good 5 years worth of work. And I'm not saying to discourage people that it takes 5 years, by the way. It can be longer depending on your particular situation.
But you saw them do the work and put in the effort for it.
Right. And the beautiful thing about them was that they didn't even know this is something they wanted at this time.
Oh, what?
They saw it as maybe one day in our future. One day, let's put it out. I'm still young enough. I don't have to worry about it. The opportunity.
I wish I was young enough.
Don't we all, right?
We could run those marathons then.
Right? Yeah, I don't have to worry about that. And then they were working towards just bettering their lifestyle to what they thought was needed.
Okay.
And then their landlord literally contacted them in this great market that they wanted to sell. Hey, I can make a lot of money. You can either move out or you can buy the house. So they did not plan for it at all. However, because of GreenPath and our relationship, they already had built up a little nest egg enough and their credit enough that they came and asked me, is this even a possibility? I'm like, not only is it a possibility, here you go.
Oh, that's awesome.
So sometimes you don't even know that next step, I guess I'm getting distracted there. The best, the best thing about GreenPath is that even if you don't have that goal right now, they build great habits for you to be prepared for when that opportunity does come.
Because if you're working towards that goal, one day can happen a lot faster.
Right.
But your mindset is still stuck in the past of, I can't do this.
Just like that earlier conversation of, I need to save for this, I need to save for that. You do that enough times, you're not working towards savings anymore. You're fixing it on the spending before it even gets to the saving part. And that's what happened to them. Is that they had already perfected, I don't want to say perfected, they have already improved their saving habits so much that they didn't have to worry about saving for a house because they never thought about it. But their spending habits has changed and their credit opportunities have changed so much that they were ready for it. They were building towards this without even knowing it.
And it wasn't as scary when it finally happened.
It was scary initially because they still didn't think it was positive. They still thought it was something they had to work towards.
Oh, okay.
Not knowing they were already there.
But that's awesome. I think
right?
That shows not only the credit union difference, it just shows when you put in the effort and the tools, something like GreenPath in your toolbox is there, how much your life can change. Even if it might be years, your life can progress.
Right.
So,
right. Weeks, months, years. It depends what you want out of it.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So I guess we talked about everything because I was like, hey, member stories. You definitely sprinkled the whole conversation with member stories.
Well, that's what I've done now for a while is talk to the members. So
I think one day I'm going to have you on and just hear member stories, just member experiences. Maybe we'll even have one of your members on with you.
Well, if they want to, of course. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely try not to get too specific.
No,
it's their privacy.
Yeah.
But absolutely, I've done this now 8.5 years here. I worked at another institution for 5 years.
I'm sure you've seen so many people, especially in the loan department, which lending just intrigues me so much because what you guys do over there, I'm like, how do you calculate this and how do you figure it? But then hearing the stories of people that didn't think that buying a home was in their cards and then it is, like, I think that's the reason you do what you do.
It's definitely a benefit. It's definitely a benefit, right? Those success stories are not the norm. I wish they were, but they're not the norm. The norm is I got a mess here. Help me how to fix it kind of a thing.
You have something colorful credit here.
Yes. And that's a great way of putting it right there. And I do what I do, trying to keep in mind that I'm not going to have 100% success rate. You should talk to our collections department. They can probably tell you that. But we do, especially Desert Valleys, we do try to see behind the initial problem.
Yeah.
To try and get at the real solution.
I think everyone here looks at people as people. It's not, okay, you're not a 508. Well, what's a 508? That's your credit score. Oh, okay. Cool. Thanks.
Right. Because for most of us, they don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like, what does that even mean?
Right.
Some people might think that's a great number.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Hey, I'm above 100, they might think. Yeah, there's that rainbow star going right there. The more you know, or whatever it was back in the day.
Oh, yeah. I just envision like little baby Yoda, little Grogu, just smiling.
Oh.
Doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, that's me sometimes. But no, it's been great. And I think being here and learning more and hearing member stories like that just solidifies like why I enjoy being part of Desert Valleys. So even though I don't get to see member transactions, I get to live through all of you guys.
Well, that's fine with us.
Well, thank you for being here today and coming back on. We'll definitely have May the 4th, but I think next month people will be seeing the Easter Bunny too, right?
Yes.
You know who you can call a friend, right? And get the Easter Bunny here?
Yeah, I helped him out fix his credit too.
Oh.
So I got a direct line. He'll be here.
Awesome. There we go, you guys. So get the kiddos ready. Next month for Youth Month, we will be phoning a friend and calling the Easter Bunny in.
Yes.
Have a great Friday and a good weekend, everybody. Enjoy this weather. I think it's starting to turn beautiful.
Yeah. Here's our little 3-week window of spring.
Yeah, 3-week window of spring.
It gets too hot. Yeah.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.